are born to succeed. Don't let them kill your dream. Protect the vision that you see. Shine like a star you are. Shine like a star. You are born to succeed. Don't let them kill your dream. Protect the vision that you see. Shine like the sun. You are born to succeed. Don't let them kill your dream. Protect the vision that you see. Shine like the star. Shine like a star.
Happy!
Happy! Finally!
Finally.
Finally!
Eating deadline, yeah, happy, yeah, compliments, because you know people are always saying compliments until March.
I think if it's January, then it's over.
Also related.
Yeah. No, Shab, like we are late. It's almost February now. And then Nikki December. We are finished. Go like Nako.
Welcome. She
Thank you,
is an accredited speaker. She's an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and she is the author of What Do You See? She's also the founder of the Itumeleng Sekhu Foundation, where she travels sharing her story to bring hope and healing to the world. Miss Itumeleng Sekhu, welcome.
Yes, thank you, honey. Thank you, honey.
So the first thing I just want to know from you, if our daddy, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, were to just say today, my fellow South Africans, lockdown is over.
Sure.
What's the first thing that you would do? Like, what do you miss the most about not being in lockdown?
I miss traveling, my friend. I miss traveling, just getting outside of your home for a bit. Just go out. You know what I mean? Go to the beach with your family, relax. Just like get your mindset away from where you live. You know what I'm saying? And that just means so much. You know, and I've just realized that now, recently, how that is actually very important for you to be sane. You know what I mean? Just travel. Like, and recently I've just been feeling like I'm going crazy because I'm just, you know, in this house all day, every day. If not, then I'm just like working, then you're back here. And then you work, and then you're back here. Like, you can't live like that. You know? So, absolutely, I would travel.
Traveling. Yeah, I think that's...
Go somewhere. Yeah, even if it's just anywhere. For 3 days. Yes. 3 days. But just go somewhere, be there for 3 days, and like clear your mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize how important that is until that is like taken away from you. You know? Then you're like, why am I going crazy? You know? Absolutely. And it's like, no, because you're in this home
Mm.
every day, every night. You are here, you know?
It's the little things. It's the little things that
Yeah,
lockdown
it's the little
taught
things.
us to appreciate, hey?
Sure, my friend, absolutely. It's the small little things.
Sure. And, you know, looking at your life right now, when you were younger, is this how you envisioned it? Is this how you pictured everything to be? Like, when you looked into the future, is where you are what you saw?
Absolutely not. I think I think for me, I thought I would be a nobody. Do you know what I mean? Like I never thought that God had such a huge purpose for my life. And because of that reason, I didn't have life beyond what I was living in those days, which was wake up, go to school, sleep. Wake up, go to school, sleep. I didn't have a vision, no dreams, no purpose, nothing. And because of that reason, I never ever thought that my life would be what it is today. Ever.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
Never ever.
What?
So Father God, Father God, hey, right now.
Intervention.
Yes, align. Eh? Align yourself with your purpose, honey. Yes.
Wow. Wow. But what did you want to be growing up?
It's so weird. I wrote it in my book. Actually, at some point, I wanted to be an actress, and then I went for an audition for one of the major soapies. And they rejected me, and they said to me, they called me actually, they should have just like kept quiet. You know what I'm saying? So then like they called me and they said to me, look, you're very good, but we can't take you because of your scars. And your scars are going to be sensitive to sensitive viewers. God, how? Like, it broke me for the longest. And then because of that reason, I then moved to accounting because I was very good with accounting, math, so on. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just be an accountant, you know, and lock myself, you know, in like a space and just be with my numbers. And, you know, like when God says, no, that's not my purpose for you, you know. And when I went to varsity, funny enough, I actually applied for accounting. And then there was no space. And then they were saying to me, Hore, I must go to the Soweto campus, UJ. Honey, I was from a school in Westcliff. There was no way I was going to go to Soweto. So I was like, no ways. I'm not going there. What else? You know what I mean? You know? And then they were like, well, we have audiovisual communications. And I was like, that's media, right? And then they said yes. And I was like, okay, let me rather just, you know, because media has always been my first love. Always.
Wow. And, you know, we know from your book, those who read it, for those who haven't, at 11 months old, you were burned because a candle fell over in the room that you were in alone. You lost fingers, you underwent numerous surgeries, but you didn't lose your life.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Because of purpose. You know, there's something that God will teach you, and that is the fact that he says that use your testimony to help people. So what that means is that when I was 11 months old, I didn't know what was happening. My mom and my parents, they didn't know what was happening, but God had a purpose. He was like, I know why this is happening. You know what I mean? And what happened was for such a time as this, right now, where my story that's healing so many people's lives. Am I making sense? Like, my story is literally giving people so much hope. It's giving people so much purpose. It's also healing people's wounds. There's a lady that I met, I think 3 months ago, and she said to me that, you know what, I'm actually going through, she was going through something like a divorce, you know, and she said, your story and your posts on social media helped me through it, you know. And I was like, Johnny, honey, how? Do you know what I mean? But it's the most simplest things, for the fact that I had to go through what I went through. It's helping so many people, whether it's relationships, whether it's their marriages, whether it's their life, whether it's the fact that they need to live this purposeful life. Like, my story helps so many, like hundreds and thousands of people just live through life. And this is what God meant when he said, I have a purpose for you. You know, I am the author and the finisher of your faith. He knew what was going to happen. He knew it. I was born. He says, I knew you way before you were formed in your mother's womb. He knew. He says, I am the author and the finisher of your faith. He knew. When God wrote my book, I was not born yet.
Absolutely.
I was not born yet. Then, by the time life happened, he already knew. The book was already there. He is the finisher of the faith, which means he knows until the last day. He knows everything. God knows everything.
And speaking of the book, you know, as you're saying that God wants our lives to be testimonies, and I believe that everybody has a story to tell, you know, because, you know, we've all encountered and been through so much, but nobody really wants to bear it all and share it all, share their pain, their struggles, their embarrassing moments, their humiliation. And you've put that out there in your book. Talk us through that moment when you were like, okay, I am ready to share this with the world. I'm taking this step where I'm letting people into all of this humiliation and all of this pain and suffering that I endured. I'm going to do it. Take us through that.
You know what? People who are not ready to share their story are people that have not healed yet. And I will give you an example. For instance, how I started speaking. Actually, it was the most weirdest thing ever, the most invasive thing ever. So I was working as a project manager for the Slave Foundation, the Suicide Youth Education Foundation. And we were going to schools motivating, like, Bana, you know, well, not we, Sbuas, you know. And Sibusiso, after he spoke, he said, there's another lady who is going to share her story. I'm like, hey, like, where is she? like, hey, where is she? And then she was just like, come, go. And I'm like, how? Me? And the school, they're like, E2. And the pressure just made me tell my story. But I didn't even tell the whole story. Because in the middle of me sharing my story, I wept. Because I had not healed yet. And therefore, I was not ready to tell my story. And the more Sibusiso did that, like 3-4 times, like 7 times, the more I actually started getting used to it. But the more I started telling my story, the more that my heart and my wounds started healing, you know. So that's another form of healing, that tell your story. Start there. And the more like you tell your story, you will start healing, and you will heal, and you will heal. And that's where you want to get to. Now, I tell my story, and I'm not emotional about it, because God has managed to heal me. You know what I mean? And now my story is now more of a testimony than it is of this broken young woman. You know, God has turned my ashes, honey, into beautiful things, honey. Excuse me.
and speaking of beauty, you know, the title of your book is What Do You See? What do you see when you look at Itumeleng Sekhu today?
Sure, I see a beautiful young woman, a child of God, a daughter of the Most High. I see the most precious jewel there is on earth. I see a woman who has such a big purpose that without her, the world would be short. I see a resilient woman, a woman with perseverance. Sure, I see a lot of things back home. I see so many things, but most importantly, I see a purposeful, driven woman filled with God. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, when I was in high school, I remember this one incident where there was someone who drew a picture of me, and he drew like it was a comic. So I had like these huge lips, and they wrote my name and surname on these papers with this picture, and they pasted it all over the school. And I think that was the first time I encountered being teased or being bullied. And from then on, like, there were numerous other things and incidents. And I'm just, you know, recording you speaking about how you went to audition and they told you, you know, our viewers are gonna be sensitive because of your scars and so forth. What is the worst thing that's been said to you? What's, you know, the worst thing that's been said to you when you were teased during, if it was primary or high school or varsity, whichever it is? I mean, even as an adult.
I think it was only when I was a kid, and I'll tell you why. Because now I don't listen to negativity, and I can't. Like, my mindset cannot fathom negativity. So when I hear it, you know, immediately, like for me, literally, bona ke tlhogana le negativity immediately. But when I was a kid, I was called names such as the KFC, bright meat. When I was in grade 9, and I'm remembering this because it was so hurtful. You know, when I was in grade 9, we went to the Kruger National Park, you know, as a class. And this other tall guy, yes, like so tall, you know, this other tall guy called Gareth, he said to me, oh yes, we were frying like marshmallows, you know, frying them there, you know, but like, you know, it was like a bonfire type of thing. And Gareth said to me, hey, Itumeleng, would you like a burnt marshmallow? And I'm like, how dare you? You tall thing, you giraffe, excuse me. You know, I will beat you up, you know. But those were the most hurtful things that were said to me, you know. Yeah. And it was so weird, actually. But it was mostly chicken franchises. It was so weird.
Sure. But and how did you get over that? Because obviously now you can look back at it, you can laugh about it, make jokes about it. It's part of your story. But how did you get over it? Because I don't think people realize how much teasing and bullying in primary and high school affects an individual right into their adult life. I mean, a lot of adults are still healing from things that were said and done to them when they were like young. Because I mean, these things happened like almost 20 years ago. But it's like something that you remember as if it was yesterday,
Exactly.
So how did you get over that? And just in general, how do you get over things that people have said or that people say?
I didn't get over it at the time. It wounded me to a point where, and I've said this before, it's public knowledge, that I've tried to commit suicide 3 times, and this was because of things that were said to me that made me feel inferior, like actually you don't even like belong here, but now after Christ, I now know who I am in him. And because I know who I am in him, that immediately just gives me a brand new me, and that makes me much more greater. But how do you get over negativity? Replace those negative sayings with positive ones. So if someone says to you, Melo, you are ugly. Woo, girl, just look at yourself in the mirror and say, girl, you're beautiful. Girl, you're beautiful. Girl, you're beautiful. Girl, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You know what I mean? Until you start believing it. Girl, you are powerful. Girl, you're powerful. Girl, you're powerful. Oh, you know what I mean? Until you start believing it. Because those people, they said it once. You can say it over and over and over until you start believing it and start behaving like a beautiful young woman. Am I making sense?
Absolutely. So would you say that positive affirmations and confessions is what you use to counter any negativity?
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. When someone comes with negativity, I immediately replace that with like a positive saying, synergy, whatever it is, whether I have to worship, whether I have to praise the Lord, whether I have to praise the Lord, worship the Lord, that just like takes me out of any bad mood immediately. But it's also a reminder of who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously we just had the noise there from the boys, your beautiful twins. So what do you think that we as parents can do to stop bullying, to stop this teasing? Because I don't know, I mean, something needs to be done from the home, not just the schools, because I know the schools do try. They'll have campaigns, they'll have posters up, and they try and drill it into the heads of the kids. But I think there's a role that as parents can play as well from a young age, to help curb bullying.
I think what we do is that we say these positive affirmations to them every day. Hello, my sons. Oh, you're so handsome, you little handsome little thing. Oh, you're so clever. Oh, my word. Oh, this, oh, that. They do a horrible painting. And you're like, oh, my word, this is amazing, my son. You're such an amazing drawer. Oh, my. You know what I mean? Just say these positive things to your kids. Never make them feel like they are not enough. And I feel like that's the best, that's the least that we can do. as parents, just to reaffirm them every single day. Oh, my baby, oh, look at your smile. It's so amazing. By the time they get to school and they hear these negative stuff, it's like, I hear you, but you know what I'm saying? My parents tell me that I'm handsome all the time. Yeah, I hear you, but you know what I'm saying? Because the truth is, we can't control what the next child says, but we can control their environment, which is Bana Barena, to say, my child, you are so beautiful. You are so handsome. Oh, you have such a beautiful body. Oh, my word, you have such a beautiful bum. Your ears are so nice. Your mouth is so nice. Your nose, you've got such beautiful eyes. You've got this, you've got that, you've got that. That is medical warina. You know what I'm saying? As parents, you know. And once we do that, I feel like that plays a huge role in how the child is brought up, but also in the confidence, young one. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? I got this, you know. Please come out, you know.
Absolutely. Are you content?
Am I content? Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like once you're not at the stage where you are content, you become miserable, because you start focusing on what you don't have instead of appreciating what you do have, which in that moment, guess what? It is enough. It is enough for you at that moment. So appreciate it, live in that moment, have laughter, have, like, people pray for what you have. And here you are, not being happy, and like you're miserable, and you're living this miserable life, and people are like, why? You have everything. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to live a life of contentment, appreciate what you have. We are so blessed. Like, we are so blessed. We are blessed. I'm blessed.
We truly are blessed, but I believe this season as well has taught us to be even more grateful, and to be more appreciative of the little that we have. I think right now people are just grateful to be alive, to have a roof over their head, to have a warm meal, like just the minimal. Like, people are just like, okay, can I just make it to tomorrow? That's it. You know, that's the season that we are in. That's the one good thing, I suppose, that we can take out of this season that we're in. And speaking of which, you know, that was a question I was going to ask you later on, but since we're on this anyway, I know we're in 2021, but what is the greatest lesson that 2020 taught you?
It taught me to think out of the box. I am a UJ Media Audiovisual Communications BA degree, honey, graduate. But media last year, during the COVID times, was not going to help me. Guess what Miguel was doing? Miguel was selling vegetables. Selling vegetables, the tamati, the apple, bona, mazambani. You can think of. And let me tell you, it's so weird, because of this season, since March last year, and I had to think, what is it that we are going to sell? We have made the most profits since the COVID, because we had to think like normal citizens and not as, but do you know who I am? No, that's not gonna work. No. No, honey. You sell anything you can come across, because as much as, you know, it's like COVID, it's like lockdown and so forth, and you can't provide services, you know, per se, you know, as a motivational speaker and so forth and so forth. But you can sell stuff that people need. Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
Like water bottles, socks, food. People have food every single day. Sell food, sell anything that people need now. Sell it. But you have a mouth. Just open your mouth and say, listen, can I leave the water bottles and then get the reikis and then because of the COVID, you need to be drinking water, mama. You know what I mean? You take your car or deliver, and that's how you make money. And should it not have been for the COVID, I would not have known that. In this like fairy tale life of mine, you know, actually I'm a speaker, you know, and I'm you know, I'm gonna send you an invoice. Honey. I'll send you an invoice. No,
Cash.
No, yes, honey.
Oh
No, honey. No.
Nina bereke invoice ka 2020.
Yo,
Wow.
no, Shem. Not in 2020, no, Shem. So what it has taught me, the biggest lesson was to think out of the box. Just what is it that you can do? You know, so many people during this COVID pandemic, they've been sitting at home and feeling sorry for themselves. And it's like, no, honey, you have WhatsApp full of people, sell them stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, like something. You have social media, posted, pasted there, and word of mouth, I'm telling you. Like once you provide the most nicest things, people will like talk about you and people will call you like the most random people. Hi, how are you? I also like a water bottle. Oh, nice. I will bring it. You know what I mean? And that is how you make money, you know? And that is what has, that is what 2020 has majorly taught me. Forget about who you are and, you know, your like degrees and, no, please, lockdown.
Actually, lockdown, mama.
Lockdown. Yes. Drink water. Buy a water bottle. You know, it's going to help you.
Absolutely. What is your greatest regret?
What is my greatest regret? Shoo. Is it? You know what? I can't think of anything at the moment. So I don't think I have. If I do, I'll tell you later. But but at the moment, I can't think of anything. I genuinely think that every single lesson that I've been through was there to teach me something, you know, and so it can't be a regret because it was there for a purpose, you know.
Oh, sorry. Yes. And are you living in your purpose?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I am living my highest life. And I do believe that 2021 is going to be greater than 2020. I started the water bottles, now like we are now taking it a step higher. You know what I mean? Like 2021 is going to be so much greater. I have a YouTube channel now where I'm showing people my like capabilities of cooking, of my vlog, with just one hand and one finger. And that's also just like a motivational video yet again, just to say, actually, why are you guys feeling sorry for yourselves? You know what I'm saying? Just use what you have and make that work for you. You know, just use it. Like, what is your problem?
You jumped the gun there because, you know, we were going to talk about your YouTube being and what.
Oh, it's
there.
excuse me,
Like there.
excuse
There.
me,
But no, you are like peppering, yeah.
I'm like peppering, you know, I'm like just.
You know what I'm saying? And where is your happy place?
So my happy place is with my family, my partner, my children. That is my happy place. So that can be anywhere. When we are here at home, I'm happy. But whenever we are like together, it's so amazing.
What do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure? I know that God loves me.
And how would you like to be remembered?
As a brave young woman who was eager to show the world her full potential, and thus encouraging people with 2 hands, 10 fingers, mobile, that you're not reaching your fullest potential.
And so we see you've got your first book. What do you see? But when is the next one coming? Please, we want to know.
You know what, and so many people have been asking me that question. Can I tell you something? I'm not a writer.
Okay.
I wrote that book because, again, Sibusiso kind of like forced me to write it. What's the matter, Sibusiso? What's the matter? Oh, wrong. Wait. So Sibusiso started telling people on Metro that I was writing a book, and I wasn't. And I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, Mara, Dibra, like, what is he talking about? You know? And Saturdays, he would like say, so Itumeleng, how far is the book? And I'm like, what? What book? You know? And he was basically like, people want to hear your story. Write your story, you know? And that's where it started. So for me, writing the book was just writing my story, writing about what people wanted to know, which is what happened to you. Because I heard that question almost all the time, like, so what happened to you? And I'm like, no, you know, I got burned from a candle, da, da, da. But now, since I have a book and someone says, so what happened? I'm like, buy the book, honey. Buy the book. You will know. You know what I mean? So I'm not a writer. Like, I don't think writing is my calling. I honestly don't feel like that. Writing that book was just telling my story, which is what happened to me. That's it. Now we are moving to greater and bigger things.
I absolutely think that people want to know what is happening next. Yes, we all know what happened. And for those who don't know what happened, please do get the book so that you are up to date. Because as you can see, we are not sharing everything because we want you to get the book so that you can get the full story of what exactly happened to Miss Itumeleng Sekhu. But we definitely want the next book, darling. We need to know what is happening right now, where you are in your life, what life is looking like right now, you know, because, you know, you are now in a very, very happy space. Yes, we read about all the pain and everything and the struggles and the bullying and everything, but now we want the happily ever after.
The happily ever after.
Absolutely. That's definitely what we want. So what do you do, like, when people stare at you?
I don't even see it. I promise you, I don't notice people staring at me anymore because I myself And now I walk with that thing. I am here. I will walk. Power. Who are you?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I don't see people staring at me. Not the way I used to hide, but now I honestly don't see people staring. I honestly no.
I know. And I think just you command attention in J, and J, when you enter the room, like everybody must know that you have arrived.
Thank you, honey. Yes, honey. Itumeleng Sekhu is here. You know what
I mean? Okay. So now we get to your YouTube channel. Okay. So tell us a little bit about you becoming a YouTuber, and what exactly your page name is, what you do, what people can expect, why you started it.
So I started a YouTube channel almost 5 years ago. Okay. And I called it Itumeleng Sekhu. And the purpose of it was to diarize my launches, But when you're starting out, you are everything in your whatever that you're doing. You are the receptionist, you are the PA, you are the launcher, you are the marketing person, you are this, you are that, you know what I mean? And I didn't have time to be taking videos, and so forth. But I then revived it now when I went to schools, and children of 5-year-olds, they're like, so how do you cook? How do you clean? How do you eat? I mean, you only have one finger, how do you do things? And I was like, actually, I can do a YouTube channel, and show people how I cook. So now I'm actually on a journey of banting, and I was like, you know what? I love good food because I actually need to start banting, but also for me not to fall off the wagon. Let me start so that when I stop, then the people, they can be like, and then what happened? Where are the videos? You know what I mean? Which will help me to continue the journey, because it is tough. You can't have carbs, you can't have junk food anymore, so it's really, really hard. So cooking was more of an accountability thing, let me start it so that I don't leave it, because banting, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, so that's how you need to basically start living, and this is the kind of food that you need to have constantly, every single day. So for me, the channel, yeah, yes, it's a motivational thing, but it's also for me, it's you must not fall off the wagon. You need to be accountable. You need to post every Tuesday and Thursdays, you know what I mean?
No, we're definitely excited about that, and I know people will love that, because I know for me, I remember the first time that we met. You invited us and you cooked for us, and I was so shocked. I remember I was just sitting there looking at you like you cooked the whole meal alone, and I'm just I couldn't even eat. I'm just
in Johnny,
I was just in shock. You chopping everything I was just speechless, and I couldn't eat. And I remember telling my brother, I'm shocked. So I'm really excited about that, because it's not something that you are just doing. You do enjoy cooking. You're a very good cook, if I must add. And I do hope that people subscribe to the channel. It is Itumeleng Sekhu on YouTube. Go ahead and watch her cook up. Well, not a storm, because benting is not a storm. I soka salad.
Yeah. It's basically like salads and like vegetables. But I made a zucchini lasagna during the week. Yes, honey, and it was so good.
Wow.
So I'm going to shoot that next, and I'm going to post it there. So you can cook a storm, but you just need to know, how to play around with food.
Okay, I don't want zucchini when I come visit you, okay?
It's so nice, my friend. I'm telling you, you are going to lick your fingers. It's better than anything that you've ever had.
No. Please, can you cook your banting stuff separate? And then
no,
for
never.
your guests, we want like
No, never. So today, I wanted to cook mokhodu. So now my partner says to me, no, I don't eat pap. It's part of banting. So if when you want pap, you will cook your own pap, because I don't eat pap. So because I don't eat it, I'm not gonna cook it. Yeah.
So what must the other children eat?
My food. If you feel like you don't want it, then cook before me.
Guys, no. Banting people, what are you eating? Mokhodu and what? Mokhodu and green salad.
No, I ended up cooking a chicken casserole, stuff.
No, but
I'll take a picture and to post it.
No, but I want to know, what do you guys eat mokhodu with?
No, that's still like a conversation that that is still need to be had
with the partner.
But I'll probably have it with like vegetables.
And speaking of the partner, Valentine's is around the corner. So who is your Valentine?
I think who?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Who's your Valentine?
It's the father of my kids.
Ooh la la.
Yes.
Ooh. That is exciting. So we've got a lot of people who love you, who've been watching. They've just been hatting and caring and liking, and they're not commenting. But we do have 2 comments. We've got Masiho Mokhoti, Itumeleng Babes, Audrey Pretorius says, "Oh, kisses all over the face." Masiho Mokhoti says again, "You go, girlfriend." And yeah, Masiho, yeah, she's entertained. Itu at home. She's laughing there.
Laugh when again, laugh.
So we're just gonna go into the last segment of the show. I'm just gonna ask you 5 quick questions, short answers only, ne? Speaking or writing?
Oh, definitely speaking.
Dead or alive, who would you like to have dinner with?
Tyler Perry.
Favorite holiday destination? You did say you want to travel.
I'm gonna talk about the places that I've been to. I would say I definitely want to go back to the Seychelles.
And then, every movie has a soundtrack. So what would be your soundtrack for 2021?
What would be?
Your soundtrack.
For 2021. And say, fetch your life.
Yes!
Fetch yes!
Girl! Come on, be
yes, honey!
Can I? Come on now. Yes.
Fetch your life, honey.
Fetch your life, girl. Come on now. And the last one, what is your favorite Bible verse, or what's your favorite quote?
My favorite Bible verse is Matthew 7 verse 7. It says, knock until the door is opened. Seek until you find. Yeah. And I love it because God is basically saying, don't lose hope in knocking. Just like keep on knocking until ke go bulela, right? My other favorite verse, Matthew 6, verse 33, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and then all things shall be granted unto you. So basically, seek a relationship with God first. First. Because there, that's where you find a purpose. That's where you find yourself. That's where you find your power. That's where you find who you are and what you are meant to do. Hence, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be granted. But what that means is that once you find your purpose, then God will provide things that are necessary to help you fulfill your purpose. And then quotes, one of my favorite quotes that I love, it's by Lao Tzu, and he says, mastering another person, that is called strength, but mastering yourself, now that is called true power.
Wow.
Ah, girl, Emma, boom, drops my drops.
Masego Mokgotsi again says love is in the air.
Yes, honey.
And Tumisang Mongai says Sis Itu is such a vibe. Kebatum. Much respect, positive spirits all around.
Now you guys must go and subscribe to my channel.
Absolutely. Yes, please. Yes, please. You know, well, it's not a quote, but I just came across this somewhere today, and it said, sometimes a loss is not a loss, you know. And I thought it was just so relevant, especially because I was having a conversation with you where somebody would look at you and say, well, she lost her arm, she lost her fingers, you know, she lost this, she lost that. But without that loss, we would not have this over here. We would not have this book. This book would be empty, you know. Without that loss, you would not stand on stages bringing hope and healing to so many people, you know. And I just wanted to say as well to the people who are watching as well, whatever loss it is, sometimes it's not a loss. Whether you think that a door closed, you lost an opportunity, you lost your job, you lost a marriage, a friendship, a relationship, you lost, you know, that contract, whatever it is, God can turn it around and use it for his glory. You know, don't look at it as a loss. Just look at it like, okay, God has something bigger and something better and greater for me. We are so thankful to you, Madam, for allowing God to use you as a vessel, for sharing your story, you know. Hopefully you'll encourage others as well to share their story, because by sharing, as you said, that's where you find healing. So I believe that, you know, people should not keep it locked up inside and die with it. Let your test be your testimony. And you truly have done that. You've allowed your story, your test, your struggles to be your testimony. And we are so humbled and honored that you came to have a conversation with us today. May God take you to greater heights. May he elevate you. I believe that where you are is just the tip of the iceberg. You are still going to go on world stages sharing your story. And you are still going to touch millions of lives and change millions of lives and bring hope and healing to so many more people. Before we go, look into camera number 3, ne? And just
prophesy it, girl. We prophesy it.
And just say, be great, for if not you, then who?
Be great, because if not you, then who?
Then who? Absolutely, be great, for if not you, then who? This has been amazing. It's been the first episode of season 3. So season 3 is all about who you want me to have a conversation with. So I'd like you guys to nominate people who you think deserve to have the spotlight on them, people who you think are inspirational and are doing amazing things in whatever corner of the world they're in. Itumeleng Sekhu was my nomination, and that is why she is on the first episode. Going forward, well, from March, because February we have something special for you. Woo! But I will reveal it next week. So for the month of February, I've got something amazing lined up for you guys. So starting from March, guys, come on, you have the whole of February to inbox us your nominations of who you want us to have a conversation with. It doesn't have to be a celebrity. It can be anybody that is doing something amazing, anybody that has found their purpose, that is touching lives. God bless you. Good night. My name is Melo Mthethwa, signing out. Bye, friend.
Bye, friend.